Hello and welcome back to In the Kitchen with Pen. Now today I'm going to do a recipe that I have demonstrated before, but we have a new camera and I can give an over-the-pot look at it, and it is a pasta bolognese. So I'll just run you quickly, and we're going to be making it in our Cosori pressure cooker, quickly through the ingredients. You need some minced beef. So there is our minced beef. You'll need carrot, onion, celery, garlic, salt, pepper as always, tomato puree, some dried basil. You can use fresh basil, but you'd need to add that at the end. So use dried basil now because it goes in at the beginning. Some oregano. Tinned tomatoes. Now let's talk about these tinned tomatoes. These tinned tomatoes are Marks and Spencer's. They are 50p a tin. Yes, that's not particularly cheap, but all the tomatoes come from the same place. And no, I don't mean Italy, although they do. They come from the same farmers in Italy. So these tomatoes are excellent quality. Okay, and I'm going to use a bit of Liam Perrins, not very Italian, and a splash of balsamic vinegar. And the pasta I'm using today is bucatini, and that will be cooked at the same time as everything else. So let's get moved and let's get started. Right, I have got my pressure cooker, my Cosori, on sear saute. So I'm going to add in the mince. You can hear that it's warm, it's hot. And that's telling me it's hot now. Excuse me. Now I'm going to get my... Lots of people complain about mince nowadays being vacuum packed. It's hard to separate. So we have our, named by Chris the Butcher, our Digby, because I sent him and Lou one. And you're just going to push down, twist, push down and twist. And that will break up your meat really well. You could use a spoon, but I actually think this does it better. So what we're going to do is this meat is just going to brown off in the Cosori. And I'm going to bring you back once it's nicely browned. That's nicely browned all over, so we're going to go in with the onions and the celery. And what I'm going to do with the carrot is I am just going to grate that in and use the large side of the grater. And because you've got quite a few vegetables in here, this is why that was 250 grams of mince for the two of us. And I'm going to say now, there will more likely be leftovers that I can add extra veg to and make a chili con carne. So we're just going to let these start to sweat off and release some of their liquid. We don't want anything sticking, because if we stick we'll get the burn notice come up as we're cooking, and obviously we don't want that. So I'm going to give those a couple of minutes too. Go in now with our cloves of garlic, and as I've said numerous times, and you're probably fed up of hearing it, I'm using a plain grater to grate in my fresh garlic. Don't have fresh garlic, use lazy garlic, use garlic granules. If you're going to use garlic salt, then be careful of the amount of salt that you actually add in as a seasoning. And that's one. And that's two. And these were large garlic cloves. I bought the large garlic from Asda. No, I didn't. Why did I say Asda? Lidl. Right, let's make sure we get all of that garlic in there. And I'm just going to stir that through. And as the garlic hits the heat, it won't take many minutes before it starts to release its aromas. And once I can smell the garlic, we can go in with other things. Right, just starting to smell that now. So I've created a hole in the middle and I'm going to go in with the tomato puree. And the tomato puree really does benefit from being cooked out just a little, and that's a good couple of tablespoons there. And we're just going to let that start to cook before we add anything else in. And we'll stir it through. That's it, that's doing lovely. And look, can you see there's a little bits that are stuck there? So get your boiled water. I didn't say anything about this, did I? And just add in a splash and take that burnt off. Now we're going to go in with the tomatoes. And look how nicely diced are they. No stalks, which you often get. I'm going to switch off now. And we're just going to stir through this. We're going to add some basil. We'll add a couple of teaspoons of dried basil. And we'll go in with some oregano, which is actually the last one I look at, wasn't it? Right, now for some salt and pepper. That's the pepper going in. And the salt. Give everything a stir again. So it's all mixed in there nicely. And now I'm going to go in with a little dash of Worcestershire sauce, just to give an umami flavour. And for a sweet Italian flavour, we're going in with some balsamic vinegar. And stir again. Now, spaghetti bolognese, I know some people make it in about 20 minutes, but on the hob it definitely needs longer. So now I've got my empty tomato tin and I am just going to fill it with hot water and rinse it out like I've done there. A and obviously the tin gets hot too. So one stir, I know there's nothing stuck on the bottom. Push everything down from the sides so that everything is going to get cooked. And then we take our pasta. And obviously we're going to have to break it in half because it's just not going to fit otherwise, you know. Look, there we go. It's not going to fit. So I'm going to break it in half. Gosh, bucatini is quite hard. And we're just going to lay it on top of our sauce. We are going to push it in just a little, not a lot. And that's why you need the extra liquid, because it's going to cook our pasta too. So we're just pushing it down just so that it's all touching the liquid. And now lid on, line up your 2 dots on the front, twist. We'll go to, oh, I hope you can see, and can I see? Pressure cook. We'll go for 14 minutes and we'll press start. Once this comes to pressure, my pin will come up and it will cook for the allotted time. I'll give it a couple of minutes and then I will release the pressure. But we'll be back when I'm taking it out. Right, if you look, the pin has dropped. So that means our cooking time and our depressurising time is up. So turn the lid, be very careful, it's hot. And the Cosori has that little lid there that you can pop your, that little hole there that you can pop your lid into. Right, and there you go. Look, you can see that bucatini is cooked. Look at it. So let's get it into a bowl or two. When I said I could use it to make chili, any leftover, I could, forgetting entirely that I was putting the bucatini or the pasta in right now. So I need to make sure I get all of this pasta out. And you can see, doing it this way, my pasta is coated in all the lovely cooking sauce. Oops, a daisy. Right, so that's the majority of the pasta out, and then we just need to top. And as I say, you really don't need a huge amount of meat for this dish. And long-time followers will know I'm not a fan of spaghetti bolognese. I'm not. I know, it's weird. It's spaghetti I'm not really a fan of, but bolognese, I can take it or leave it. So let's just move this out the way, unplug it, put our dishes down there. Right, I've got some freshly grated parmesan here, and I'm going to put some on, and some on Steve's too. I've also got some cheddar, some nice cheddar, so yeah, we're going a little bit off-piste. But look, that's how easy it is to make spaghetti bolognese all in the one pot. So I shall take Steve's through and I'll be back and I shall tell you if it tastes any good. Bearing in mind, I'm not a fan. Right then, there we go. That is our bolognese. Can't call it spaghetti bolognese because it's a bucatini bolognese. So let's give it a little taste. Right. Perfectly cooked. The pasta. Sorry, it's pretty impossible to eat pasta and look ladylike. Those tomatoes, they've added a beautiful sweetness to it. So if you've got a pressure cooker, seriously, try doing an all-in-one pasta bolognese. But remember to leave that pasta on top of the sauce. You don't want to push it down. And make sure you've got nothing stuck, no matter what you're cooking in the pressure cooker, stuck to the pan before you put it on pressure. That's gorgeous. Right, for now, that's me done. And I will see you again very soon in the kitchen with Pen. Bye-bye for now.